You mentioned something earlier about like how you felt when you were younger, like in high school and in college. Like, what what about that when in our younger days?
In our
I
20s.
don't want to say in our youth because that makes it seem like we're like wait, just a few years ago. Like,
Which is true.
which is true.
Kind of.
I think when when you're growing into your like to be who you are, you a lot of the influence is what's around you, right, or what people are expecting you to do, and then when you hit 30, right, there's this idea of like, oh, when you're 30s, like you're not gonna care what anybody says. Like your 30s are for you, and for me, in my early 30s, like I was waiting for that moment of like when am I gonna feel like that because I still felt like I was just very much in being influenced by what other people were telling me what I should be doing or how I should be doing what I should be doing until the last couple years where I finally like fortunately some mental health stuff happened where I really took a minute to break to think about like why am I behaving the way I am, what's influencing all this, and then it made me realize like how much I had left my relationship with myself and how much I was not listening to the real me so that I could be free. Like you said, this idea of being free to be myself. And so finally, I'm in that phase where I'm like finally doing the things that I want to do, that entrusting myself and being a señora con poder, and just I don't know. Like for you, have you had that moment? Has that been like for you? Yeah, share a little bit more about that.
So I feel like this year, or I guess I'm in, when I say year as a business owner, because I started in April of this business journey. So I want to say in this year, I think I really learned about just being myself and not caring more like what people think, especially with social media, because you kind of have to put yourself out there, and you're used to doing it with your friends and your family, like, oh, you share your weekend, whatever you're doing, but when it comes to your business, you really have to show a little bit more, because people don't know you, so you have to show people who you are.
Yeah.
It's not just friends that are following you, like new people that are getting to know you, so I think that really forced me to really get to know myself a little bit more and feel comfortable with certain things that maybe were jokes or not jokes, or like, like I have messy hair. Okay, I like to wear my messy hair, or I like to dress down sometimes. Like, things like that. Yeah.
Let's take it a little deep. Let's go a little deeper.
Okay.
This arepa is getting to me, and I'm like, all right. This idea of like how people think you should talk, dress, look, all this stuff. What helps you every day to just get a little bit closer to being brave enough to be yourself? Like, what are moments where you're like, is it simply like you decide you're like, no, I'm this is what I'm gonna do, or like what does it look like for you when you make those decisions every day to be a little bit more closer to who you really are?
I think it has to do with a lot of just being tired of not doing that.
Ooh,
because
okay.
I feel like when you're, like you said, in your younger years, like in your 20s, you're still figuring out who you are, so you're trying to fit in all these boxes, and you're trying to do this, trying to do that, trying everything, and you're just like, I'm just exhausted. I just
that's so
I want
true.
to stop trying. Like, I just want to be myself.
Exhaustion, yeah.
And I feel comfortable enough to stop trying too. Like, okay, I'm like just gonna be myself, and if you like it, great. If you don't, you have to keep moving. Like, I think what helps me is just seeing people like you out there. Like, put yourself out there and like realizing.
I'm doing the same thing you
like,
are, by the way, for the record.
You're on a journey, and that's like surrounding myself with people like you that are not afraid to like choose this journey, right? Because we're choosing this path.
I know.
This journey. So I think it's like surround yourself with people like that. First of all, take out all the toxic people.
How?
Yeah. And we know muchos tóxicos y tóxicas.
And let's talk about that for a minute, because the reality is that most people who are toxic are usually probably not addressing who they really are or what it is they really want. A lot of people, and I've learned this through therapy, is like a lot of people are in their role self, right? The role that they have been, that they took on, and they've disregarded what they really want, what they truly feel, and you're being true to yourself. And there's nothing more liberating than that, to be true with yourself, because there's there's no lies, you know?
Yeah, and then you see that different opportunities open up when you do start embracing that. So that's kind of just like the universe or God, whoever your
like that.
spirit guides, like confirming you're doing the right thing. So
I
it's
love
kind of
that.
like a extra.
That's true. It's like
Yeah.
extra affirming moments where you're just
Yeah.
like, okay,